Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh to everyone here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for joining this session. And so today's topic is going to be on the month of Jade. But before we begin, maybe we'll just do three Mool Mantra jap just to, focus our mind for this session. So you can join me wherever you are. Just mute your mic and do the movement that um, with me. एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभौ निरवैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभौ निरवैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभौ निरवैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So today's topic is in the month of Chet, na? So we are all going to be entering our Sikh New Year in a few days' time. About 9 days, na? 9 dina de vich will be our Sikh New Year, which is in the month of Jade. So in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, both Guru Sahibs have written Bani on the 12 months in the year. Guru Nanak Dev Ji first wrote it in the Rag Tukhari, and then Guru Arjan Dev Ji then did more of a simpler understanding of the one by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, because the one written by Guru Nanak Dev Ji is a bit more difficult to understand. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji then did, we can say, a tika of the Rag Tukhari Baramaha, and they wrote it in Maj Baramaha, in Rag Maj. Hana? So going straight into the Pauri, the second Pauri of the Bani, Guru Sahib says, Chet Govinda Aradhya Hove Anand Kana. You see, Guru Sahib, in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, there's Bani for almost everything. There's Bani for 12 months, there's Bani for every decade of our life, 10, 20, 30, so on. There's Bani of for every day, Etvar, Somar, Mangalvar, Buddhavar, and so on. There's Bani on every alphabet of the Gurmukhi, the Penti, and there's Bani on the moon cycle, and so on. There's Bani for everything. So Guru Sahib is also telling us that, har sama, every moment, every time should be spent in the remembrance of Paramatma. And Here Guru Sahib says Anandakana. Hana? So when you ask yourself and you ask people around you, what is it truly people want? What do we want? Hana? What do you want? You can say that, oh, I want, I want a good job, I want more money, I want a house, I want to travel, I want to do this, I want to do that. Fine. That's superficial. But why do you want all this for? What is the deep reason within you that you want to do all of this? Then people will say it's because they want sukha, they want happiness, they want joy, they want peace. Maybe by doing this, maybe by shopping, or maybe by traveling, or so on, I will get some sort of peace, right? So at the end of the day, everybody wants ananda. Ananda means that bliss, that sukha, sada sukha, permanent sukha, not the kind of sukha that today we're happy, tomorrow we're sad, and so on. No, but the feeling that we're always in joy, even though the world, even though things can go wrong, but we still have that sense of ananda within us, Hana? And Guru Sahib says that where can you get this ananda? See, we do a very big mistake when we try to find this ananda. We try to find peace or sukha outside, Hana, like I mentioned earlier, in our friends. We try to find peace. We try to find peace in our friends and materialistic stuff, है ना? हाँ, थोड़ा चिर सुख मिल जाता. For a while we get sukha, है ना? But Guru Sahib says that actually you get sukha from within you, from Paramatma. Gurbani says ਘਰ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਹੈ ਮਨਮੁਖਾ ਸਾਧ ਨਾ ਪਾਇਆ. You see, ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਘਰ ਕਿਹੜਾ? This body, this mind, है ना? When you ask yourself who you are not this body, you are not this mind, but you are the part of Paramatma. The Atma in you is a part of the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma. Hana? And we know that Paramatma Sarup, you see, when we ask the question, what is the form of Paramatma? Paramatma Sarup, is not like one man sitting in the clouds and putting his hands up and says, Tathastu, or things like that. But it's rather the qualities of Paramatma, which is Satta, Chitta, Anatta. Satta means constant, permanent truth, which is always in all time frames, it's always Satta, it's always true, it's unchanging, constant. Chitta, Chet and consciousness, the one that recognizes itself and recognize other people, that you're able to recognize who you are. You know that you are an Atma. And you can recognize the same Atma in others as well. And Ananda means that bliss, that Sada Sukhana, that permanent joy or peace. Hana? And if you want that peace, then you have to ask from that very one who is having this quality, which is Paramatma, right? And that Paramatma is within you. It's not outside. Yes, of course, we say Paramatma is everywhere. Hana? Paramatma's cut mein harju bas, saran de vich, right? But we make a mistake when we try to find sukha in materialistic world, but not the one who has made this world. You see, even for example, a deer, Hana? Gurbani says, "Jyo kasturi mrig na jane pramda param pulaya." A deer, it sends this kind of smell, this kasturi, the smell of musk, Hana? And it runs around finding for that smell. Oh, maybe it's in this tree, or maybe it's in this corner, maybe it's here, maybe it's there. It just wanders around trying to find the source of that smell. But it doesn't know that the smell of that musk, it's coming from within the deer. It's coming from the musk gland in the deer's knee. It's coming from within him, right? Pata nahi. But ਜਦੋਂ ਸੋਝੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, when the understanding comes that, oh, it's coming from within me, then the running around stops. The wandering stops, right? So we want to get that ananda from within us, which when we try to find it from within us, then we are not going to lose that ananda, right? Guru Sahib says that Sant jana mil paiye rasna naam pana. You see, when we want to get ananda, we have to do simran. We have to do how to say aradhana, meditation of the one who is ananda, which is Paramatma, right? Because if we want, simran is basically a constant remembrance of someone or something until we get it, right? Just like how a child keeps on remembering his mother, keeps on remembering that I want milk, right? Keeps on doing Chetan of the mother. Similarly, the mother as well keeps on thinking about the child, right? And Guru Sahib says that you have to do Naam Simran. You must do Naam Simran on that Paramatma in order to get the quality of that Paramatma, which is Ananda. But in how can I? The question then comes, okay, fine, you tell me to jap naam, but how can I be inspired to jap naam? We always need inspiration for something, right? We want to be a doctor. We are so inspired by maybe someone. Maybe we are so inspired by the profession of medicine. We want to be a doctor. So we spend years of our life, maybe even a quarter of our lives, just studying medicine to become a doctor, right? So Guru Sahib says, Sant jana mil paye rasna na pana. So where do you get the inspiration to Japanam is through the sangat of those Gurumukhs who they themselves have done Naam Simran, they themselves have Japanam, right? So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ, when you meet them, you speak to them, you ask them the secret, you ask them how they have Japanam to get Ananda. है Rasna naam pana, rasna then of this ways where you start to do Simran. And the first step is to start doing Simran with your rasana, with your tongue. Where you can hear yourself doing that Simran. Gurbani says, Aap jap ho, avre naam japa ho. So the Gurumukhs are the ones who have done Simran themselves and they can then inspire other people to Japanam as well. So then Guru Sahib says that Guru Sahib then first they say that what happens when we do Naam Simran. We remember Paramatma. Jin paya prabh apana aay tis hai gana. You see, by doing Simran, by remembering Paramatma, we eventually get Ananda. We eventually, I wouldn't say get Ananda. You don't get something when you already it. You understand? It's already within you. It's just that we have forgotten it. We have completely forgotten all these gems within us. We have completely forgotten that we are actually Atma Sarup. So now by doing Simran is to remember everything again. It's not to get something, but it's just to remember that, oh, this is me actually. Jin paya prab apna. So when we finally have realized, we finally have, you know, learned or even found that Paramatma is within us, when we become one with Vaheguru, our coming into this world becomes fruitful. Basically, we have passed our exam, Hana. And now, you see, this is a very, very important question for all of us. Why are we here, Hana? What am I doing in this world? Where did I come from? What am I doing here? And where am I going to go? You must have answer to these three questions. Even Basant ki war Guru Sahib asked us, "Kithon upje kahe rahe, kahe mahe samave?" है ना? We have to answer these questions for ourselves. No one else can answer that for you. You have to answer for yourself. You have to do abya- so much of Simran in order to understand and know the answers to these questions. प्राणी तू आया लाहा लैन लगा के फकड़े सब मुकदे चली रहन. You see, Gurbani says that Prani, you have come to get some profit in this world, right? But what we are doing is we are playing a losing battle. Basically, we are just, losing this game and we are just telling ourselves, oh, let's just keep losing. Who cares? Let's just keep losing. And we don't even know we are losing. That's the worst part. We don't even know we are losing, right? And Guru Sahib says that if you have won the battle, won the game of life, then you're coming into this world as basically have passed the game, and you don't have to come anymore, Hana? And in the opposite situation, Guru Arjan Dev Ji says that ek khenetis ben jeevana bertha janam jana. You see, what about those people whose janam is bertha? Bertha means wasted, gone, right? Useless. Those people whose lives are wasted are the one who has lived their life not remembering Paramatma. So now the question comes that but how are you gonna do Simran of Paramatma like 24/7? I mean, we have to We have to work, we have to study, we have a family, we have so many commitments and this and that, and how can we find time to do everything else? Guru Sahib then says, in Gurbani, uh, that there's a puri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that was a pankti hasandiya khilandiya penandiya khavandiya vichhe huve mukta. That while laughing, dressing, eating, while living your life, you can still be mukta while doing all of this, while living in this world. What's the trick is we have to even remember Paramatma in every single thing we do, we say. Aj prashada khada, thank Vaheguru. Hana? That's why in Sikhi, we are always taught to always include Paramatma in every single thing we do. Before we want to start something, we do it ardas, we ask for permission, right? We want to ask for help or anything, we ask Paramatma. We eat, we say thank you to Paramatma. Hana? At home, we have part going on. We have in our daily routine, we have like 3 times in the morning, in the evening, at night before we go to sleep. We remember Paramatma, right? So Gurbani says, "Har japde khin till na ke jai meri jindariye mat ke jape sah ave ke na ave." Har japde. When you're doing Simran of Paramatma, how are you supposed to do? Actually, how are we even supposed to live? Khin till na ki jai meri jindari. When you're doing Simran of Paramatma, when you're remembering Vaheguru, don't even till means like don't even be lazy for even a moment. Why? Mat ke jape sah ave ke na ave ram. We don't know that while remembering Paramatma, whether the next breath is going to come or not. Guru Dev Ji asked by Balaji, by Mardana Ji, tell me how do you think how close death is to us? How close do you think death is to us? And Pai Balaji says that one of them, I can't remember who, but says that, you know, Guruji, like today, the sun came up this morning. We don't even know if the sun is gonna set. If we don't even know if the sun is gonna come up tomorrow morning. Then Pai Mardana ji says that Guruji, the sun came up this morning, but we don't even know whether the sun is gonna set in the evening. And then Guru Nanak ji keeps quiet, and Pai Sab, both of them ask Guru Sahib, what about you, Guruji? Like you just kept quiet. How do you think close death is to us? And Guru Sahib says that the breath that just came in, we don't even know whether it's going to go out. We don't even know whether the next breath is going to come in. The blink of an eye, like we just blinked this moment, but we don't even know whether we are going to blink the next moment. That's how close death is to us. Hana? And if we keep remembering them, that's why sometimes, when we say that, oh, Sikhi is not about fear, we should not have fear. Actually, in a way, you must have fear, but not the kind of fear that, you're you're just afraid the whole time and it becomes negative, but the kind of loving fear where Paramatma is always watching us, where that Paramatma is always with us, in us, and that kind of fear, we must have that. I don't even know when my next breath is going to come. I don't even know when my moment of death is. So I better not waste my time. I better not waste my breath. So Guru Sahib then tells us that every moment, even when you're walking, a lot of Mahapurukh, what they used to do, they give advice that when you're walking, one step Vahe, another step Guru. So as you're walking, you're doing Simran as well. So the next question, where is God? Where is Paramatma? Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Jal Thal Mahiyal Puriya Ravya Vichivana. You see, Jal means like pani, water, Thal means the land, the earth, Mahiyal means everything in between. So the sky, the space, the air, everything. Puriya Ravya Vichivana. So you see, Paramatma is literally everywhere, in every element, living, non-living, every element. Na? Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when they are writing japs, like they are literally in the nature and they're just looking at the river, and as they are writing a Kalusati Bani, they just say Jale Hari, Thale Hari, Thale Hari. They are saying that Paramatma, this is you, right? That Paramatma, this is you. And you see, that's another way Guru Sahib is like teaching us on how we can remember Paramatma. Is that when we see things around us, when we meet people, when we do anything, you know, we speak to Paramatma, we speak to ourselves, we say that, this is you. This is you, Paramatma. Sometimes when we look at, for example, the river, start doing vichar within yourself that you see how the river is constantly flowing, right? And you don't have the same water in one spot. It's just constantly moving. And that's the same for Paramatma's hukam. It's constantly flowing and it's not, that's the same for example, even our karam. It's constantly flowing, it's more, sometimes it's less, and just like our life, even our life as well, it's just constantly flowing, and we don't even know whether we'll get the same water at the same spot. We don't even know whether we're going to be at the same spot today or tomorrow, right? So you see, when you are in nature, start doing vichar within yourself, right? When you're, for example, when you're cleaning the house, for example, like when you're sweeping, like do vichar within yourself, or Guruji, like, for example, speak to Guru Sahib and say, like how I'm cleaning this house, right? I'm clearing all the dirt, and please Guru Sahib, you help me to clear the dirt of my mind, you're the one who can do that, and one way cannot work for everyone, right? So find your way how you connect to Paramatma, right? So Ravya Vichvana, you see, every blade of grass, is when Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Net Net Ban Tren Kahat, right? Bana Tren, the forest, the blade of grass says Net Net means you're beyond this, you're more than this, you're beyond this, right? There's no limit to Paramatma. So the question more is, where is in God? Paramatma kithe nega? Sare paase hai, right? What happens when I don't remember Paramatma, right? So Guru Sahib says in the next pankti, So prabh chitna avai kittada dukh gana, you see? So prabh chitna avai, when we don't do Chetan, when we don't do Simran of Paramatma, kittada dukh gana, how much pain we go through because of that. Why? Gurbani says, Parmesar te pulya vyapan sabbe rog. All kinds of rogue, all kinds of diseases, mental, physical, whatever it can be. We are attracting these when we start forgetting Paramatma, right? You see, when we get dukkha in our life, we have that tendency to blame it on somebody else. When we are going through some sort of like, anything, can be fighting the panchur, can be any form of dukkha. We just want to blame it on somebody else because we want to take out that frustration on someone else, right? But Guru Sahib says that they dos na deo kise dos karma apne, that it is because of our own karam that we are actually suffering, right? What we have committed in our past lives, what we are doing in this life, what kind of actions we are committing daily. We are just attracting the rogue to our own jivan. Anna? What kind of sangat we are doing, what kind of people we mingle around with, what kind of things we are watching, right? What kind of things we are saying, and so on. We're just attracting the kind of negativity into our life. So, roga, we have adi, upadi, byadi, tanatarande rog, uh, illnesses related to the mind, illnesses related to the body, and upadi is basically attacks, something that has caused from external factors like, for example, natural disaster or an accident or some sort of like uh, viral attack or something. So, like COVID, for example, it's a rogue. It's a rogue because it's something that has been an external factor that has caused a disease for us, right? And so then dukkha, right? कितड़ा दुख गणा चार तरह ਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਵਿਛੋੜਾ ਭੁੱਖ fear of death ਦੁੱਖ ਵਿਛੋੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਦੁੱਖ ਭੁੱਖ ਇੱਕ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਖਤ ਵਾਰ ਜਮਦੂਤ ਇੱਕ ਦੁੱਖ ਰੋਗ ਲਗੇ ਤਨ ਤਾਏ ਵੇਦਨਾ ਪੋਲੇ daru lai. One kind of dukkha is rog, means having disease. One kind of dukkha is being separated from the one we love. In this case, being separated from Paramatma. Or we can even, if we can even say when we are just going through separation, like how a child goes through separation anxiety when separated from the parents, right? So similarly as well, when we are separated from something that we love so much that anything, it can be someone, it can be something. We go through dukkha, right? Then the fear of death as well can be a dukkha when we don't accept that reality, Hannah, and we keep on, having that fear that, oh, how am I gonna die? Or what about my property? What about this? What is gonna happen to me? This and that, right? That kind of fear is gonna cause a lot of dukkha. So you see, Guru Sahib says that then it is because of our own karma that we are attracting all of this, Hannah. And we can't blame anyone else. So what we can do is to accept it, accept the circumstances that we are in, and try to move forward. Try to either make the situation better, but nothing can be done without the asra of Paramatma. We have to have asra of Paramatma. Do ardas as Sache. You see, this how we look at dukkha and how you communicate with Paramatma. You see, Sache Pacha doing ardas and say, Guruji, Guru Sahibji, okay, I have this rogue, I have this illness, and I know it's because of my karam that I'm stuck in this, right? I can't blame anyone for it, right? But you are the one who have all powers. Sarab Kala Samrat. You have all the powers within you to help me figure this out, to help me come out of this dukkha. I can't do it myself, right? And I need your help for this. So speak to Paramatma. Keep on doing beintiyan. And Paramatma will always listen to our ardas. Birthi kade na hovai jan ki ardas. Koi bhi ardas. Look at this, Koi bhi ardas jan di. Jan means the one literally. If you have become Paramatmas, you have given yourself to Paramatma, you have literally said that, you know what, I'm yours. Then whatever ardas you do will never go to waste, right? The question is how patient we are to see that ardas being fulfilled. Many times we want things to be fast. You see, we can be asking for something like, okay, you know what? For example, I want a house. Guruji, I'm doing this part. I want this double-story bungalow, right? And we can see all the kind of benefits that we will get if we get this bungalow. But then Paramatma, being our father, our mother, our creator, our caretaker, and so on, knows what's best for us. So maybe we can see all the benefits of getting that house, but Paramatma is trying to save us from something that will be, bad for us if we get that house. So sometimes it's more like we have to be patient with something, and rather than demanding our ardas to be fulfilled, and if it doesn't get fulfilled and within a time frame that we have set, then we say, oh, Guruji didn't listen to my ardas. No, because Gurbani is never wrong, right? They do listen to every ardas that you say verbally or that you even make in your mind. Everything is recorded. So Guru Sahib says, so pravchitana avi kittada dukh gana. Paramatma, when we don't remember Paramatma, we are just attracting dukkha to ourselves, right? You see, then the question comes that, okay, what if I do Simran Paramatma? Does it mean I don't get dukkha? No. You see, a lot of Gurumukhs, Mahapur, Sikh, anyone, those who are walking, who have walked the path of Sikhi, they go through pain as well. Look at Pai Dayalaji, Pai Matidasi, Pai Satidasi. But you know what's different? The dukkha that they're going through, they basically is a form of like is all their karam being burned because of that one dukkha. You see, like how grave or how great someone's dukkha is. You can think of it this way, that Paramatma in a way is trying to destroy your karam as well, right? Because karam, when we get dukkha, that's the time when we start remembering God. That's the time we start remembering Paramatma. And when we start remembering Paramatma, when we start doing Simran, our karam gets destroyed. The more we do Simran, the more our karam gets destroyed, right? Guru ka shabda kate kot karam. Guru's shabad is the one that will destroy all our karam. So Guru Sahib says, Jini Ravya so Prabhu Tina Pagmana. Jinane Ravya means to enjoy, right? Who have basically been in love with Vaheguru. You see, prema bhakti to bina, we can't do anything. You must have love for someone, then you will start pursuing them, right? You have love for medicine, you start pursuing medicine to become a doctor. You have love for you know, photography. You buy a camera, you learn how to take good pictures, you know, invest in a studio and things like that. You have love and passion for something, you do it wholeheartedly. Hana? So similarly, you must have love for Paramatma as well. You can't just be like, oh, I'm told to do so, that's why I'm doing it. Well, in a way, yeah, but then the feeling and the you won't be enjoying it as much as you would if you really did it from a place of love, right? Jini Ravya so Prabhu Tinna Pagamana. They're so fortunate, these people, those good Sikhs who have loved Paramatma. है Har darshan ko man lochda nanak pyas mana. You see, one of our purpose in our life is to at least once have darshan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, darshan of Guru Sahib Ji, anyone to have darshan. Because why? Gurbani says, Guru Nanak jin suniya pe kya, फिर गुरबाज ना परियारे. The one who has had darshan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. It could be partakh, it could be partakh darshan, it could be super darshan, chitar darshan, shabd darshan, what kind of darshan it may be, but you want to have darshan of Guru Sahib, you want to have darshan of Paramatma. है ना? Paramatma, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, har darshan ko man lochda sache pacha. That Nanak Pyas Mana, I'm so thirsty to just get your darshan. Someone who's really thirsty will do anything. We'll even pay millions. A beggar could have a glass of water and we have $1 million. But at that point of time, when we are so thirsty, we want that glass of water more than that $1 million that we have in hand. Maybe for a while, say, no, no, no. You know what? I love my money. Maybe for 5 minutes, you'll hold. For 10 minutes, you'll hold your thirst. 1 hour, maybe, you know, one day. But how long can you hold? How long would you wait for your thirst to be quenched? You can't. How one day will come where you'll just give up that $1 million just for that one glass of water. Because at that point, that's more important to quench your thirst. We must live like that. That's a chipacha. Nothing else matters in this world. I just want to have your darshan, and I want to, you know, just like um Bhagat was, is it Bhagat naam लीजिए Bhagat का, one of the Bhagat says, मुए हुए जो मुक्त दियोगे मुक्त न जाने कोयला, ए जो पंड्या मुंह को टेट कहते तेरी पैज पछौंदी होएला. That is Bhagat Namdev Ji. Bhagat Namdev Ji, you see the way Guru Bhagat Ji is speaking to Paramatma. मोए हुए जो मुक्त दियोगे मुक्त न जाने कोयला. That if you're going to give me mukti after I die, no one's going to know, the world is not going to know that I have become mukta, that I have been liberated. ए जो पंडिया मोको टेट कहते हैं तेरी पैच पचौंडी होएला. And Paganam they listen to Paramatma that these pundits who are like, you know, making fun of me, who are calling me low caste and so on. Hey, Paramatma, think about it. They are looking down on me, but they're also looking down on you because why? I'm your Pagat. I'm your Sikh. So if they're saying bad things to me, they are indirectly pointing finger as you as well. So you know what? You want to give me mukti, you give me mukti while I'm alive. You see? Sometimes, when you really love Paramatma, this is how the kind of relationships you can have with Vaheguruji is between you and Vaheguru. You can be like a stubborn child with Paramatma and say, you know what, I by hook by crook, I want to have your darshan. Just like how Baba Nand Singh Ji. Baba Nand Singh Ji, whoa, by hook or by crook, they did ardas. Guru Nanak Ji said, if until you don't give me your darshan, I am not gonna eat. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week went by, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji themselves were like, you know what, my Bhagat is insisting, so stubborn, that he's not gonna eat until I give him my darshan. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave Partak darshan to Baba Nand Singh Ji. And Baba Nand Singh Ji's benti after that was, Sache Pacha, whenever I put khal for poga, langar da thal sajike for poga, for you, I want you to come and have langar with your own hands. Partak hoke tusi langar shakana. And Guru Sahib listens. Like Pagatan Naji was just given a patthar and he was so innocent. You see, innocence can win people's heart. Innocence can win Paramatma's heart. Hana? Why? Because in innocence, you don't have chalakiya, you don't have the kind of like, chatranya that, or dealing and so on. Hana? Innocence and love. So Pagatan Naji was just given a patthar by this pandit who got so fed up with him because Pagaji kept asking, can you give me Pagwan, can you give me Pagwan? I want to have Pagwan. How can I, do Pagdi of Pagwan like you do? And the Pandit got so fed up and he just picked up a stone from the roadside and gave it to Pagatanaji. And Pagatanaji brought it home, thinking that it's Pagwan, and started doing puja of that stone. Gave it a glass of milk, and it comes in Gurbani as well. And I gave it a glass of milk, and say that please drink this milk, please do, please accept my puja. I want you to I want to see you, I want to speak to you. And because of that innocence, Bhagwanji themselves then gave darshan to Pagatannaji. So you see, what one can, Gurbani is telling us that all these things are possible. Now ask ourselves this question: but why am I not feeling it? Or why don't I hear stories of these things happening nowadays? Because why? We have indulged ourselves more in social media, in the materialistic world, and we think that all these things is real, all these things is what that matters. So when our focus has completely gone astray, then how can we experience whatever these bhagats have experienced? So, benti hai na, that Paramatma no benti kar Chipasha san darshan deo. Ana, Gursix would read this na, mere Baba ji, deho darshan, akhiyan darshan ji, deho darshan. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji says in the last pankti, Chet milaye so Prabhu, tiske paye laga. In the month of Chet, those who can help me to realize Paramatma, to meet Paramatma, tiske paye laga. I'm a sacrifice to those, I touch the feet of those. Basically, all the Sangat that you do, the Sangat of Gurmukhs, the Sangat of Sikh, the Sangat of saints you do, Paramatma, Guru Sahib says, you see, they are doing a parupkar to you to connect you to your inner self, to connect you to Paramatma. So, like how when we go to school, we celebrate Teachers' Day, we give them gifts, we say thank you for teaching us. We appreciate our teachers for teaching us. We appreciate our teachers because of them we're educated. Because of them we excel in our exams and where we are today. They teach us and so on. Similarly, the saints as well, the Sikh, the Gurmukhs as well, they are doing the same thing. In fact, they're helping us. Their one hand is with Paramatma, and their one hand is holding on to us. And what they're doing is they're connecting both us to Paramatma. The Guru Sahib says that do their Sangat. Guru Sahib says, Tiske paye laga, that I touch the feet of those who help me to unite with Paramatma. So you see, the message of the month of Chet, Guru Arjan Dev Ji starts himself with the main purpose of life, which is to get Ananda. We get Ananda through Nam Simran. Nam Simran, we get the inspiration when we meet the saints of Paramatma. And Guru Sahib says that by doing Nam Simran, when you how what does it mean to get the state of Ananda when you become one with Vaheguru? है ना? And how do you want to ask? How do you want to get to the state of Ananda? Is ask Paramatma, keep on doing beintiyan, keep on doing ardas, that Sache Pacha give me your darshan, Sache Pacha keep me with you, है ना? लड़ ला के रखो, so that I can achieve whatever you want me to achieve in this life. And we want to win is in this battle, right? We don't want to lose, Hannah. We don't want to go back and leave this world and then having to give lekha and then just and our when we give our accounts and then the verdict is, oh, you failed, you have to go back to 84 lakh June. I mean, like, you'll be like, what, do it again? No, imagine, you failed an exam and your lecturer teacher says you have to do it again. Ah, okay, resit the paper, fail, do it again. How many times are you gonna do it? A time will come where you just go like, you know what? I'm fed up of this, right? I by hook or by crook, I'm just gonna focus and I'm gonna make sure I don't do anything wrong or I do exactly what my teacher says to pass this exam, right? So we want to do that. We because of course we don't remember our past life, and people have this notion, YOLO, you only live once. Well, you only live once because your mind doesn't remember your past lives and all. Now imagine if your mind, your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind remembers everything of your past life. That would scare us so much that we wouldn't even be able to live a normal life. We'll be so traumatized by whatever we have gone through. Guru Sahib is doing so much of parupkar on us that we have to remember all our past lives. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm just imagining myself. What if I was because it comes in Gurbani that Bishta ke kide. Bishta ke kide means the maggots in the poop. Now imagine if we were to live such a life. We were like kire, we were like, germs and maggots and I don't know what not in poop. Or we were like flies are flying around a buffalo. Things like that. I mean, the worst case scenario. And imagine if you would have to remember all of that in this life. I think you'll be so traumatized that we can't even live our normal life. So Guru Sahib is giving us that chance and doing part of on us and saying like, you know what, you don't have to remember all the bad stuff, but you have to listen to what I say and just make sure you win this time. And you don't have to go through all of that again. Right? So we want to make sure we get it right this time. So that's the message of the month of Jade. Very simple. But we have to make it like a habit that whenever a new month comes in, the Sangran of a new month comes, we have to contemplate on the message of the Bani of that month, Chet, Visak, Jade, Har, and so on. So I have actually filmed the Bare Maha series beginning of last year, and we have completed, and it's about like 25 minutes each month, Hana, Vichar. So you can make it a habit to listen to the Vichar and maybe have your own, contemplate within yourself and do Vichar within yourself. What does this month mean for you, and what is your goal for this month? We must have a goal to achieve for every month that would help us then to, make our year more fruitful as well, right? So that's my Vichar for the month of Jade. And um, if you have any questions, I'm opening the floor to Vichar, and I shall mute myself here.
Thank you so much, Penji, for the amazing talk. We just have a few questions. If you don't mind, I can read them out to you, and then you can just answer them as you please. Vaheguru, Penji, can you
Yes,
hear?
Hanji, Hanji. Yes, sorry, I was muted. Hanji can.
No worries about that. Hanji, I'll just start with the questions then. The first one is, what does Jade itself mean?
It's just in itself the name of the months in of the year. But if you want to look at Chet, now you got me thinking as well. Very interesting question. If you look at Chet, the word itself comes from Chetan, and Chetan means consciousness, means recognizing our own self and recognizing our own self, which means the Atma, and recognizing the Atma in others as well. So if you want to think about Chet, it would be consciousness, it would be recognizing your true self. So that is what I think Jade would mean.
That's great, Penji. The next one is, can you tell us why we celebrate Holla Mohalla?
So Holla Mahalla, as we know, in the Hindu tradition, the Sanatantaram, they celebrate Holi, right? Where they throw colors on each other and so on. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they always have this, because Guru Gobind Singh created Niara Panth, Khalsa Panth, which is Niara. Niara means we don't follow the path of the world. We are the world goes one way, we go the opposite way. We do what our Guru tells us, right? So Guru Sahib then says that Lokandi Holi Sada Hola, right? That people celebrate Holi, we are going to be doing Hola. Hola Mahalla means on this day then the whole Pantha gathers in Anandapur Sahib, or in Hazur Sahib, wherever they are, but in Anandapur Sahib, and they would do like Kaur Sawar, they would have like um everyone would be doing horse riding, they would have like competitions, all the Pantha will get together and do like Shastar Vidya. So that's how they then celebrate their Hola Mahalla as well. They just get together, and you can watch a lot of videos on YouTube. They do horse riding, they do Shastar Vidya, and many of the things then throw colors on each other, because in even in Suraj Prakash, when the prasang of Hola Mahalla comes, then it's very nice to hear how Pai Daya Singh Ji and Guru Gobind Ji were throwing colors at each other, because nobody would dare to do anything unless Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they would start, and then everybody else would join in, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji then throws a bit of, just to start off the whole celebration, throws a bit of color to Pai Daya Singh Ji. And because Pai Daya Singh Ji was like Guru Sahib's best friend. And then Pai Daya Singh Ji then did the same, and then everybody else was like, oh, okay. So, now it's time to celebrate Hola Mahalla. And Guru Sahib then says, okay, now I'm going to judge. So they would be like, they would sit and they would say, okay, have for example, a Shastar Vidya competition, or horse riding competition. They would judge, and they would be so happy to see everyone just having this healthy competition. Hanji.
Ji, the next one is, what do you focus on when you do Simran?
So there's few ways to look at it. So one, when you do Simran out loud, like Vaheguru, Vaheguru, you focus on your own sound, right? You focus on your own sound of you reciting Vaheguru. Some people imagine Some people imagine the alphabets, the akkar va, he, gu, ru, in their mind they focus on the spelling of the akkar. Some then can focus on, like, because at the first stage of Simran, you need to start focusing your mind on something, because the mind's gonna keep running away. So you can either focus to your own sound, you can focus to the akkar of Vaheguru, or you have a picture of maybe, Guru Nanak Dev Ji in your mind, or a picture of Guru Gobind Singh in your mind, and you focus on that. So there's find something, or maybe focus on, like, um something in you. Like, for example, if there's a jot in your room, or from Guru Sahib's picture, you focus on the jot or something. But eventually you want to move on from there, because that's the initial stage, but eventually you want to move on from there and just doing Simran, where it becomes a japa job, where it just becomes a job that you don't even have to you can do it without any effort. It becomes effortless. You start doing Simran effortlessly, and you don't have to keep on focusing on something. But that's how you actually start.
Ji, thank you. The next one is similar, but it just says that, how do you focus more when reading Bani when you don't understand what it means?
You have to understand what it means, and to understand what Bani means, you have to learn the language of the Guru, which is Gurmukhi. You must understand, you must learn Gurmukhi, you must speak Punjabi. We have to, speak Punjabi. We have to read, listen to people speaking Punjabi. We have to, because why? Gurbani itself is made up of so many languages, Hana. Like for example, I'm a Malaysian, and the Malay language comes a lot from Sanskrit and Farsi, and it's a plus point because when we read Gurbani, we go like, oh, this is a very similar word. Oh, this is what it means because it comes in our local language, right? And so you must learn Gurmukhi. You must speak, or at least speak Punjabi. Listen to Katha in Punjabi, and so on. Eventually, you will start understanding what it means. Second is a lot of repetition. A lot of repetition helps because repetition helps you to memorize. And the third, um, you can, well, of course, initial state initial stage is then to read the translations. I wouldn't say that English translations are excellent. They are not actually. They're very badly translated. And but you can use the translation to understand initially like what Gurbani means. But eventually you want to move on from there, and when you're reading Gurbani, then the understanding, the vichar comes within yourself. That, oh, this is what Guru Sahib is actually telling me. Okay?
Hanji. The next one is how can you remember Vaheguru all the time?
Like I mentioned, Gurbani says, "Hasandiya, khelandiya, penandiya, khavandiya, viche hove mukta." Whatever you're doing in your daily life, have conversations with Paramatma. So, just one tip for myself. What I normally do is I have conversations with Vaheguru with what I'm doing. So I'll be saying, like, for example, if something didn't work out well, I'll be like, "See, Guruji, I didn't know why this happened like this. Why would this happen like this? Or can you please help me out in this? Or for example, do you know what this is happening? Or you see what I'm trying to do? Hey, this is so cool. Like, have conversations with Paramatma. When you're eating, say thank you, Vaheguruji, for the food you're giving me. When you're walking, every step in your mind, one step Vahe, second step Guru. Ana? When you're in the car, listen to Kirtan, Katha. When you're at home, have Gurbani radio on 24/7 because as you're walking about doing things, there'll always be moments in your day where suddenly that your mind just goes like your mind suddenly focus on that Gurbani Pankti, go like, oh, that's interesting. What does this mean? And you start doing vichar and then it goes on from there.
Ji. To follow that, we have can you connect with Vaheguru and then lose it?
No. मिल्या होए ना बिछड़े जे मिल्या होए. Gurbani says once you have connected to Paramatma, you will never lose it. If you lose it, means you were never connected in the first place. मिल्या होए ना बिछड़े जे मिल्या होए. Once you have met Paramatma, na vichre, you will never lose it. But the condition is je milya hoy, if you have truly met, become one with Vaheguru.
That's really beautiful insight, Benji. One of the last questions is what happens after we have finished all our Junes and still haven't reached Mukti? What comes after Charasi Lakh June?
Okay, so 84 lakh June doesn't mean that the first June is end, second one is a spider, third one no. And then it doesn't mean that we have to do it like step by step. No. 84 lakh June literally means that if we could go through any June from within that 84 lakh June, you could even come back as a human 5-6 times in a row. I mean, I'm just giving an example. I don't know, Anna. But it doesn't mean, and you might not even go through all the Junes. You see what I mean? It's not like a stage or a step by step kind of thing, or you have to go through all 84 lakh June and so on. So you there's no such thing as finishing all our Junes and haven't reached Mukti. It's basically we are given this. We might even this could even be, for example, I'm just saying it, just an example. This could be my first June as a human, for example, right? And I've got this one chance. I fail it. I fail this time. I'm gonna come back, and if I've done something wrong, for example, I've hurt someone. I've thought during my, if I'm doing about near to the time of my death, and I think so much about my property or so much about my children, Guru Sahib Sen says that, well, you're going to come back as a sukkar, as a pig, because that's Gurbani says, na? So maybe that's the next June. But I figure things out in my life and I repent and all of that, I might come back as a human again. So basically, all these things, that's this system is in the hands of Paramatma, in the hands of Hukam, right? We will become mukta when all our karam is zero. Basically, our karam account is zero. So we become mukta then. Then we don't have to come back. How do we destroy our karam? Is through Gur Shabad.
Thank you for clarifying that, Dee. The next one is why is the Kava so prachalant?
Eta Paramatma no hi pata. Dikhawa has been there from day one. It was there back in the days, it's still here, and it will still be in the future. Without Dikhawa, I was doing, it's very interesting to look at it in this perspective. Without Dikhawa, people would not have appreciation for what's true. You have, for example, an original Louis Vuitton bag, right? It costs, I don't know, a few $1,000s, right? And only few people can have it. But the whole world is like, whoa, Louis Vuitton, and people wants to be like, I want to have it, I want to have it. So what do other people do? Maybe from China, they create a fake Louis Vuitton bag and say, you know what, now everybody can have it for just $50. And the whole world buys it. And they like the idea of a fake Louis, of just carrying a Louis Vuitton bag. They don't care whether it's original, whether it's fake, whether it's, I don't care, they just want to have it. They want that name. But the original Louis Vuitton brand, does it get affected? No. For them is, we are not going to reduce our price, our quality. For us is our customers, if they really want the original Louis Vuitton bag, they will make that effort to get it. Simple as that. The whole world is even saints as well. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's time, there were 22 dikhave wale sant. And Guru Sahib was like, well, it doesn't affect me. Pai Makhan Shah Lubana ji was the one like, no, I want the real one. I want the real one. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. After 22 tries, they finally find the real one, right? So Dikava is, I guess, in a way, it's necessary for the world to have appreciation for what's real.
Gee,
So
thank you for
that's, yeah. Mm.
that. That makes sense. Thank you so much. I think those are all the questions we have for now. Sangataji, if you have any more, please feel free to ask them now. Hanji Benji, if there's anything else you'd like to add, if not, then thank you so much for giving us this amazing talk.
Thank you for having me. I have nothing else from my end.
It was quite beneficial, so thank you so much for your time as well. Hanji
Thank you.
Sangat, please follow Penji on Instagram, and as she mentioned, there's videos for you to watch. And also, I believe this talk and all our other talks are recorded, and they'll be available on YouTube and all the other platforms, Spotify, Hanji. So just like follow our page and follow Penji as well. Thank you so much once again, Penji, and thank you, Sangat, for joining. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.